Your personal brand isn't just a logo, a tagline, or a clever marketing hook. It's who you are at your core. It's how you think, it's how you make decisions, and it's how you show up in the world, both personally and professionally. And building a brand isn't just about a strategy, it's about alignment. And that requires something much deeper: self-awareness, resilience, and the willingness to grow and evolve. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a guru, but I am a builder. I've built 2 very successful businesses, worked through failure, I faced my own demons, and I'm still in the process. I'm still refining, I'm still evolving. So each week on the Branding Lab, I'm going to break down the lessons, the insights, and raw truths that shape not just great businesses, but great leaders. In this roughly 10 to 15 minute monologue, I'm going to share the stories and the insights of my own experience and the deep conversations with CEOs, founders, and thought leaders from all over the world. We're going to uncover the patterns, the decisions, and the shifts that separate those who grow from those who stay stuck. Because here's the honest truth: if you're not evolving, neither is your brand. So let's get into it.
I used to date this girl. Matter of fact, I was engaged to be married to her. And she was a model, former model. I never saw her do any modeling. This is just what she told me. She was a beautiful woman. So arguably, she probably was at some point in her life. I would have liked to seen her model, but I never saw that. Anyway, everywhere we went was sort of a staged show. No matter what we did, whether it was a restaurant or at the park or a walk in the woods, there was always these staged sessions, and there was like outfit changes and multiple camera angles, and it was never good enough. And you've all seen sort of memes on Instagram of other people recording other people, influencers, and their videos and their gaffes and stuff. Anyway, it was just, it was like a nonstop barrage. And all of it was based upon basically what I call a Pinterest effect. And she sort of had this Pinterest board that she would follow of influencers and poses and things of that nature. And it was just disingenuous across the board. And no matter what I said or did, that was just sort of her repertoire. So you do you. I'm not saying that I'm right, you're wrong. Again, these are always just my sort of takes on life. That's what I use social media for. It's like my perspective, how I see the world. And I'm sharing it with you because you know what? I have a few people who say they like it. So I'm going to share it with you. I just want to talk about that for a minute, if I may, for a second. This whole idea of comparison or comparisonitis, because we see it everywhere we go. We have literally lost our ability to be unique because of social media, because of how we're educated, because of the prison system, if you will, of schooling. Yeah, I said it. Whatever it is, we've sort of created these like automatons who are just creating content that's based upon someone else's perspective or purview and not necessarily their own. It's on social media, it's in real life, it's in conversations. It's like television just keeps repeating itself. I saw the other day my high school girls lacrosse team that I coach, they're now listening to 90s hip hop and wearing 90s outfits, and I'm just like everything just gets recycled. There's no such thing as an original idea anymore. So how could we take the juxtaposition, the position, the context that we're in and create something unique to add value in some way, shape, or form, and maybe potentially center that around a business idea or social media or whatever it is, right? YouTube channel. And really from my perspective, the best way to do that is there's really like a few choices. You can entertain, which is phenomenal. You can educate, you can inspire, or you can find a way to do all three. And from my perspective, I'm trying to inspire and educate. I don't know if I'm entertaining or not, but I am definitely trying to inspire and educate you on a perspective that I share with the world. And sometimes it pisses people off. I had a couple of posts last week that upset some people, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be disruptive to be disruptive, but I have a worldview and a context based upon my perspective and perception of things, and I'm going to share that with you, right, wrong, or indifferent. And you can either take it and agree with it, or you can disagree with it. Again, you do you. So, and we've all done this, by the way. So back to this comparison-itis model. I don't think a lot of us even realize that we're doing it anymore. But really, at the end of the day, instead of creating genuine, original content, we are looking at other people's content and thinking that that is the narrative, that is the way, the only way to do something. And we're just sort of repurposing it and evergreening it over and over. And we're measuring ourselves against everyone else's highlight reel because this is where it gets pernicious. when we measure ourselves against someone else's highlight reel, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is, this is where we start to feel like shit because we're like, I'm not as good as them. I'm not making as much money as them. I'm not traveling the world like them. I don't have as many cars as they do. And how are they growing faster? And why am I not growing? And all these things. But here's the truth that I had to learn the hard way through this individual we talked about at the outset and through my own meanderings is that you're not behind. You're not lesser than them. They're just doing something their way. And sometimes their way is not the right way. You just have to find what works for you. And their success has nothing to do with your worth. I can't tell you how many times that we sort of step into the space of comparing ourselves against someone else and then wonder when we fall short why it didn't work out. Well, it didn't work out because you're not living your truth. You're not living your own version of whatever it is you're trying to create. And just some fun facts for you. Suicide, depression, anxiety, all of these things, pharmaceuticals that are treating these symptoms, they're at an all-time high, especially for teenagers. And it's because people are spending so much time on social media and using that as like the barometer, the framework for how to live their life. And when it doesn't turn out the way they thought it turned out for someone else, or the way they see it turning out for someone else, which is disingenuous, then they wonder and start to think and analyze, why am I not good enough? Why can't I do that? And what they don't realize is that most of that stuff isn't even real. It's someone else doing the exact same thing that you or they are doing, which is living by someone else's standard, living by someone else's vision of the world. So it's really important that first and foremost, you know who you are. How do you want to show up? What value do you add? What can you bring to the table that is uniquely you? And stick to that standard and just know that you're only sticking to your version and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to anyone else. You do you. You add value based upon how you see the world. You show up based upon who you are and stop worrying about assigning your worth to someone else's blueprint because that is theirs. It's not yours. You need to create your own blueprint. And success means different things for different people. So you have to decide, is it the algorithm that I care about? Is it one DM from someone responding back to me? Is it a couple of likes? Is it some new business? Is it the fact that I'm just getting out there and sharing my version of the world and hoping that somebody is affected by it? I don't know. You have to decide what's your impetus behind it. Me personally, I feel I have a moral obligation to share my thought leadership because I'm a coach and I coach other people. And these are the things that I help other people deal with and organize their space around and create better versions of themselves around is through my insights and being able to articulate that. And so that's my impetus. That's my objective for being on social media. And I share that with you on a daily basis, just like I'm doing right now. So your power, your originality, your voice is you. It's uniquely yours. And you have to own that. And don't be afraid of it because somebody else might be inspired by it. Somebody else might be affected by it. You could have an impact on someone else's life because of your perspective. And you have an obligation to share that. And you can't do that if you're doing it from someone else's truth. You have to do it from your truth. So reclaim your life, reclaim your lane, tell your story, say something that matters, entertain, educate, inspire, or do all three. Because the only person at the end of the day that you should be trying to beat, I don't really know if I like the word beat, the only person you should try to be evolving from is your own personal evolution, becoming a better version of yourself in every moment. And you can do that in a variety of different ways. So that is all there is to it. That's the game. That's what life is about. It's you versus you, becoming a better version of yourself in every moment. And it always has been and always will. So.